Bang! This is a crazy looking shoe. I don't know if this is a chunky, funky monkey, but it's something. Today we're gonna do something a little different than what I normally do on this channel. You know, I take the shoes through high mileage testing. There's long videos detailing my day, going in depth on these shoes, but I also test a lot of shoes on this channel, and people are always asking me what my favorites are. So today I'm gonna go through 5 of my favorites right now. These are 5 of the ones I've been reaching for out of the latest crop, and some of them, as you'll see, are actually ones from earlier this year or earlier last year that are still in the rotation because nothing can take them down. So this is meant to be a quick video highlighting the best of the best right now of this latest batch of releases, what I'm going for, and also you'll see some of the ones that I'm not going for. Oh, by the way, before we kickstart it, make sure to use my Running Warehouse link to support the channel if you are going to buy any of these, and if you're planning to buy any discounted shoes. So if you say, hey, Neo Zen looks great, but I'd rather just get the Mach 6 that's on sale on Running Warehouse right now, make sure to sign up for the Supwell app, because one of the benefits is we have a discount code that takes 10% off of discounted shoes and 20% off of all gear, also 10% off of fuel. So if you're doing long runs, getting more in or torque, you can get 10% off. All right, first one up here, bada boom, bada bang. Mizuno Neo Zen. Every time I say Mizuno Neo Zen, I always think about the Kendrick line. What is it? Big face Buddha and all about the yen. The Mizuno Neo Zen. That just was what comes to my mind. But this morning I did a 10-mile run in this. I've loved every single run in this shoe. This is now filling the soft shoe in my rotations. You'll see each one of these shoes that I'm pulling for this 5 favorites. They are just my 5 favorites, but they all play a role in my rotation. This would be how I structure my rotation right now. So another way to look at it would be, hey, if I could only have a rotation with shoes that I've released in the past year, these are the 5 I would pick. So this would be my soft pick. This is like a New Balance 1080 with more pep. This is what I expected out of the Superblast. This is what I expected out of the Balos, and it's better than both of those shoes for me. We now have it up about, I don't know exactly, 40, 50 miles. I'll continue to test it. I'll continue to do some comparisons. It's not the most stable shoe, but you'll see the other training shoes I've picked here this is the fun one. This is the soft one. This morning's run, let's throw it up here. I think I was cruising at about 7:30 for most of it. And yesterday, man, I was hurting yesterday because on Tuesday I did a fast workout down at 440s and 450s, 2.5 miles at 450s. That completely destroyed my legs yesterday because I don't often do those types of workouts. And I always tell you guys, you need to be sparing with the speed. And also, as you're adding in new stimulus into your training, make sure that you keep it relaxed for your other miles. So don't increase volume and speed at the same time. And also, if you're going to add in speed, just make sure to keep it chill on the other run. So I was feeling it yesterday, crawling along at very slow paces for me. I did my second run, a 4-mile run, at an 8:40 pace, I think. And usually if I'm doing a 4-mile run, I'll be kicking at 7:20 or 7:30. So I was hurting yesterday. Today, feeling much better. And this shoe was amazing. It's like waking up from a bad dream after having a tough recovery running day, a minute slower than normal. Then you get to put on something fun like this. It's just a soft dream. This is a good dream. This is a fantasy type of shoe. Really soft and fun, not the most supportive in the back. The upper could be better. It has some issues that don't make it the most reliable shoe, but it's that wild card in the rotation right now that if I want a fun shoe to run in for a run like this morning where, hey, maybe I could have a great run, maybe I could have a terrible run, this would be it. So if you want something that's fun, can go faster, definitely not a workout shoe. I did some strides in that run and I was maxing out at around 5:10. If I were in a different, firmer, more structured or more nimble shoe, I'd probably be down at 440 or 450 for those strides, but a really fun shoe. It can also go the distance. I did a 20-mile day in it and it was great. And even though it is soft, it's not bottoming out. It's also really lightweight. So if you're looking for a replacement for something like the SL2 or the Hoka Mach 6, this would be it. It fits in that fast, fun, light category, and it also takes it up to the next level because it does have a tall stack height. I forget exactly what it measured in when we did the stack check in there. You can watch the first run review if you're interested, but decently high shoe. So Mizuno Neo Zen, $150. They also do have new colorways of this on Running Warehouse. They have a clean white, a clean black, I think a blue or something, so you don't have to get this funky, silly zebra. I think that's what I called it, the silly zebra. All right, next up, Asics Novablast 5. This is my #1 pick right now for just daily trainer. This is the one I pick. So I got this up to 100 miles. I'm not necessarily testing it anymore, but if I had to pick one shoe to travel with, one shoe to just go out there and run everything, to do all my miles. This is it. If I had to do a 100-mile week in one shoe, this would be it. This feels the most reliable for all sorts of runs. Now, it does encourage a faster stride for me. If I'm running this, I'm likely going to be 740 or below, and I have some other shoes here that are more on the slow end of the daily spectrum, but the foam in here is lively, not as soft as the Mizuno Neo Zen, but it is softer than the last generation, and really nice geometry here. Now, I have realized that when I'm hurting, for example, if I am running 830 or 840 miles and landing more on the back, it's not the best. I have to be running midfoot to forefoot to really enjoy it the most personally, given my rotation as well, right? If I have a 5-shoe rotation, I would use one of the other shoes for true recovery runs. So this is not going to be my pick for true recovery runs, but it can do it. Out of all these shoes, this one has the most range. It also is decently lightweight while still having some good support, and the upper very comfortable. Nice padding around here in the back. Wet weather grip is the one downside, but if you're careful with it and you don't try to run any speed work in the rain, it'll be okay. So nice soft bouncy foam, good structure and support, nice lightweight. This thing is the total package for $140. This is at the top of the category right now in terms of daily trainers. This is going to be my pick for most people if you just want a daily trainer to get the job done while still having some fun. So Asics Novablast 5, $140. All right, next up, this is my recovery shoe and comfort shoe. Favorite shoe right now for slower, relaxed runs. Favorite shoe for just cruising on the treadmill at a nice chill pace. Favorite shoe as well. If I had to pick one of these for walking, this would be it. Not in this colorway. Also, Running Warehouse has a bunch of other colorways in this. They have a creamy tan that looks really nice. They have an all white. They have a murder pack. So lots of good options. This is my least favorite colorway, I think, of all of them, but this is just the one I got because I got it pre-release. So this thing here, it's not as soft as the Neo Zen or the Novablast 5. It's not a soft shoe at all. It is a structured shoe, but if you're a bigger runner, this is gonna be awesome for you. It feels very smooth and it activates with either time on feet or size. So it reminds me of the Novablast 4, which was a firmer shoe than the Novablast 5, except unlike the Novablast 4, it doesn't have that weird heel geometry. Very smooth shoe, and a lot of the times we think about lower drop shoes, so the difference between the front and the back being lower, having that flatter profile not being as good for heel strikers, and I'll talk about this in a second when it comes to the speed shoes, because that is the case with some of the lower drop speed shoes for me, especially from Adidas, but that's not the case here. This works well for any type of mechanics. I can run slow in it. I can attempt to run fast in it, do some strides. I'm not going to do a workout in it. Even just holding it in my hands, it is heavier than these two, but this is my favorite comfort shoe right now if you want something for walking or running. Yeah, walking or standing and running, relaxed. This is going to be great. Decent padding around the upper. Really nice wide base. It's just as wide as the MagMax. And the foam in here is solid. This is just a reliable shoe. No issues with it whatsoever. So if you want something comfortable to get the miles in or to be on your feet for a long time, Hoka Bondi. It is $170, so that's on the pricier end of the max cushion spectrum, but it's held up decently well for me through 100-something miles, and I anticipate this will be a solid shoe for most people. The grip was just okay too in the wet weather, but the one wet weather test I did on this was in New York on the West Side Highway. If you know that area right just south of the piers on the West Side Highway, it's almost like this slick stone situation down by Canal Street, a few blocks north of Canal Street. It was super wet. I've heard other people tell me and confirm that it can be slick there in general. So not the best, not the worst when it comes to the grip. The next shoe that I'm going to pull here is the better one for grip, but overall a solid, reliable pick if you want something comfortable. All right, next shoe here, last in the training camp, Puma MagMax. You're not going to be surprised. So Neo Zen, Bondi, Novablast, these all came out in the last 1 to 2 to 3 months. MagMax came out, what was it, August, September? This came out a while ago, and I ran in it. I said it was okay. I ran in it, I started liking it more, and then when I got to the Chicago last week, taper week on Chicago, I ran it a few times, and I said, gosh dang, I think I found my super blast, and ever since then, I've loved it. So got it up to 30 to 50 miles. It does require some break-in, but complete tank. This is the Super Max Stack leader for me right now. This is the most fun shoe while also having comfort and support. So if you're gonna have a rotation of Neo Zen, Bondi, and Novablast 5, that's probably all you need. This almost combines all the elements of those, right? The fun and the bounce of the Neo Zen, the stability and pep of the Novablast 5, and then that reliability and slight firmness and structure of the Bondi and protection of the Bondi. And funny enough, the Bondi actually measured in higher stack than this when we did the stack check. This was below 40 at 100 something miles, 150, 160 miles. But this is my mileage shoe right now. This is the one I pull for when I want something reliable and fun. You don't need to, there is going to be a lot of overlap right between this and the Novablast, this and the Neo Zen, this and the Bondi, but this is just a fun one to have in the rotation. And with all these daily trainers, there's some overlap here and there. I probably wouldn't have all of these. I would pick either this or the Neo Zen, because you might be going back and forth, or either this or the Bondi, because there might be too much overlap. But if you do want something with solid wet weather grip, this would be it. I also think the Bondi is a better choice for newer runners. If you're gonna have one shoe, I would go for the Bondi over this. This has that extra special bounce character. It does feel like more of a high-end performance running product versus the Bondi is more of that everyday comfort shoe. This also has a lot more stability than the Neo Zen. It has a lot into it, right? And it has more protection and easier to run relaxed than the Novablast 5. So it combines a lot of those elements while still being a reliable shoe. Very bouncy and fun to run in. And then that grip, the grip is just the icing on the cake. I ran in this when it was a snow day here. Was that just last week? By the way, now I'm out here, I'm literally in shorts. That's what I'm talking about. That's a real Carolina winter. I'm out here in shorts and slides again with just a tank. By the way, shout out to, what is this shirt? Huck. You guys know Huck? Huck Coffee Roasters and Little Waves. That's what I'm repping today. But yeah, I was out here in the 20 degrees, 15 degrees with the MagMax, and this did well. It didn't brick up too much, and the grip was really nice in the cold. I have to wipe this down, man. Some of these shoes are dirty. We're gonna have to do some shoe cleaning this afternoon. All right, so those are the 4 training shoes. Those are my 4 top training shoes right now. Let's talk about speed. Man, so there have been so many speed shoes to release in the last few months, and I only have a few minutes here, I have a meeting, but let's go through them all because none of these recent releases have been hitting. First up, Adios 9, and this is not my favorite. I'm gonna go through them all and do short 30-second reviews. Adios 9, this was too low stack to me. The fit wasn't great, cramped. This is not. It's gonna make you do a lot of the work of running. If you want something that's lightweight and very minimal, this is gonna be good. People compared it to a track spike light, something you could use to warm up for your track spike. But for me, as a high mileage runner training for a lot of marathons, not my pick. Evo SL, this guy, and wow, this feels so chunky after holding the Adios 9. This was just okay for me so far. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's solid, but it didn't give me that special quality that I got out of the Boston 12, the Speed 3, the Mach X2, some of my favorites in this category. It's just not delivering a ride above what you might want or what you would expect from Adidas. So I haven't been blown away by this so far. It was solid for a workout I did. That painful workout I did 2 days ago was in this, but I mean, even the price, right? $150, that's half the price of Adidas's top shoe. They're not pricing it like a 10 out of 10 shoe. They're pricing it like a 6 out of 10 shoe, even though they're doing the crazy marketing strategy with it. So not the biggest fan of it. It's not a bad shoe by any means, but it's just not blowing me away. I'm not as excited to run speed in this as I am to run daily in the Novablast 5. So thinking about the use case, it's just okay. And then we have the race shoes here. Adios Pro 4. This one, you already heard me talk about it. This was a hot mess. I did not like the feel in the back. A lot of people are enjoying this one, so I'm on a semi-island here. Come to Adios Pro 4's Hot Mess Island with me. I'll give you free cotton candy, marshmallows, and fluffernutter sandwiches on Wonder Bread. That's what we can eat on the Adios Pro 4 is a Hot Mess Island with some melted ice cream too. Also, just the new version of Light Strike Pro was not doing it for me. I felt the rods up in the front. It just too soft for my preference. And then Saucony Endorphin Elite 2. I need to wipe this one down as well. I really like the foam in here. It was a fun ride, but fit was weird for me, and I was bottoming it out. Man, I can even feel the plate in here in the front. And I've seen some other people say they really like it, but they're not running, a lot of them that I've seen aren't running 530 pace in it at 6'2". So just not my personal preference. So my favorite for the speed category here, going back to the Alpha Fly 3, this is still at the top for me. I did a workout in this last week. This is still feels like the most reliable. This has what I like about the Bondi MagMax Novablast in a speed fast package. It feels reliable. The pods give that structure up on the front. It's not going to bottom out. Foam is decently comfortable. Fit is decently comfortable. It does have an aggressive geometry, so it's definitely that speed option, but nothing else has been able to deliver the reliability, comfort, excitement, and fun that the Alpha Fly does. This is still my preferred training partner for speed days. I am really excited to test the Hyperion Elite 4 PB soon. I'm excited to test the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0 soon. Maybe one of those can rival this, but this is still the one for me. Puma DV8 Elite 3 is also great, but I haven't gotten a workout in that recently. So there you go. Those are my 5 favorite shoes right now as of winter 2025. I'm going to be testing a bunch of new stuff, so I wanted to get out this video for this latest crop of shoes. Let me know what your favorite shoes are right now. Let me know if I should do more testing on any of these. I'm really hoping, this is the one where I'm most disappointed right now. I'm just really hoping this thing breaks in, because it's not giving me that Boston 12 pop, and maybe it's Light Strike Pro without the rods just doesn't. But if you compare this to the Boston 12 for running fast up at the forefoot, it's just not giving me that go. So maybe I'll do that 100-mile check-in, and hopefully it breaks in and gives that soft, explosive feel when running fast. Or not soft, but softer than what it is now, because right now it's just okay. But all right, I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.